Satnam. Every meditation has its uniqueness to it. There's a technical component of meditating. How to sit, where your eyes should be, there's a focus part of that. Often, because of that, we lose sight of the actual feelings of what the meditation brings about. So we're going to do a very simple breath pattern where I'm not going to have you focus on anything particular. You don't worry about where your eyes are looking at. The brow point is your chin. Don't worry too much about how you're sitting, what position your hands are in. Are you using a mudra or not using a mudra? Simply what we're going to do is we're going to just be breathing in and breathing out. Except the only difference is that we're going to pay attention to the pause that's in between the inhalation, exhalation. What do I mean by that? If you breathe in, say this is my full breath coming up to here. Before I exhale, there's that pause, like tossing a ball up in the air. If you toss a ball up in the air, it goes up against gravity, and then it reaches a point where it stops at gravity. But just before it comes back down, there's that pause. And then, of course, it comes down, which would be the exhale. So we're going to pay attention to how we inhale, focus really intently on the pause, and then exhale, focus on the pause, and then inhale again. Pause, exhale, pause, inhale, pause, exhale. So there's 4 components of it, where we breathe in, we retain, breathe out, retain out. So no air in the lungs. It's a very simple thing to do. When you do this, do keep your eyes closed, but don't worry about what position that they're in. Don't worry about the eye focus. Just whatever comes naturally, let that happen. If you feel a particular part of your body start to tingle, oftentimes for myself when I do this, especially as I do it for more time, prolonged periods of time, I start to feel the top of my head start to opening up, which is a very good thing. It helps to connect you. Paying attention to the pauses, or the gaps, or the voids, as the yogis like to call it, is truly where your intuition starts to lie. Intuition, knowing what you should do for yourself, where your life is taking you, or where you want to take your life. The intuition, the knowingness. And if you think about meditation itself, meditation is often described, at least in the dictionary, as singular focused attention. Singular focused attention, that's meditation. But if you think about that in periods of your life, let's say the birth of your children, were you so just focused on what was going on at that point? Or were you worried about the bills that needed to be paid, or the laundry, or that your car needed to be washed? Or were you simply focused on where you were, which was experiencing your child being born? Or maybe you were watching a sunset or walking in the moonlight with somebody, or even just yourself. Were you focused on everything else that was going on, or were you just right there? If you think back about whatever moment you had in your life, the grandest moment that you ever had, falling in love, birth of a child, whatever it may be, I can guarantee you that you were uniquely paying attention to that moment. And understand this, if you can start to pay attention to more and more moments start to become unique, because they all are unique. So it's simply just paying attention to the void up, the void down, the gap, the pause. So simply, let me just show you a few rounds of how to do this, because there should be no struggle whatsoever. There should not be a struggle for you. So it's not when I say take a breath in, we're not going to do this and then pause it by holding it, and then exhale and then hold the air out. We're not doing that. This is a very gentle breath in. You should not see the body move much at all. It's a very gentle breath in. Pause, not even holding. So you know when you can hold the breath where you take in a breath and you kind of just squeeze? That's not this. You breathe in and just stop. Just don't hold, but just stop. No more inhaling, but not exhaling either, just pausing. And then exhale. And before you breathe in again, pause. Let me just show you. You may or may not be able to hear my breath because this is meant to be done slow. You're not really trying to quiet the breath. It just sort of happens that way. So I'll do just a couple of rounds so you can see that my body's not really jerking around. And it's not like you have to pause for a long time. It's pause to what feels comfortable to you. If there's any pushback from your lungs, from your body in any way, just exhale. No stress when you're doing this particular pranayama, which is really just paying attention to the 4 components of breathing. So I'll do a couple rounds. Just watch for a moment or join along. Simple as that. If you're new to this, simply just breathe in normal. Just breathe in normal. Just in and out. That's all you can do. Just close your eyes though, and do try to sit up tall. It will be helpful. But breathing in, pause, breathe out. Pause, breathe in. Pause, breathe out. Pause, breathe in. Pause, breathe out. Pause, in. Pause, out. Pause, in. Pause, out. Pause. Simple. It doesn't have to be a long time that you maintain in the pause. It can be very just naturally breathing, naturally in, naturally out. Just pay attention that there is a pause. And organically what will start to happen, that pause will get longer and longer and longer, naturally, without you trying. The breath will become much more subtle. Breathing in, breathing out. You'll start to become more aware of what's going on within your body itself, simply by paying attention to the 4 components of breathing. Inhaling it, holding the breath, or ceasing the breath, before exhale, and then exhale. And before the inhale again, pausing, inhale again. Fantastic for calming your mind, for soothing your emotions. Fantastic breath pattern to do, just simply sitting and paying attention to this. So, start to learn and understand how breath moves through your body by just pausing. And you can gain that experience through practice. As always, I wish you well. Sat Nam.